Buenos dias. Welcome to Spain. Hello, Tanya.
Hello, Gaetano. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm stuffed. I never want to eat again, but yet all we did was eat all day today and
And
yesterday.
yesterday, and it was so good. We'll get into that later, but I do have an Spain.
Yeah, let's have it Spain because if we sound weird or different, maybe you can tell the people why our sound quality might not
Yes.
be as great as it should be.
Can I just say that we have no electricity, as you know. This is another
Yes.
story for another time, kind of, because we will get into my trials and tribulations of moving.
This Spain, we could say, is a teaser to a later episode.
Because right now I have way too much anxiety and stress related to this whole situation to actually sit and talk about it. And
Right.
I'll need to like calm down a little bit before we can actually have a proper discussion. But we have no electricity, so we're kind of camping at home. But it's funny because I had said to the universe, I was like, we can move in so long as we have water. Like, it's okay. We don't need electricity and water. If I have to pick one. And I was like, and then when the water, we got the water on and we didn't have electricity, I was like, why did I say that? Why did I put that out into the universe? I should have just said, we need both and we need it now, right? So I
Yes, I think
totally set
so.
ourselves up for this bizarre scenario that we're in. And so we do have water, but we don't have electricity. And so coming over to you for Thanksgiving, and it's a very Spanish reason that we don't have electricity. And I don't know how much you want me to get into it, but coming to your house and having Thanksgiving and seeing lights and having being able to charge all our equipment at your house while we were eating was a
Yeah,
total
you
joy.
were like bohemian vagabonds, but like
Totally.
where you walked in and you were immediately not like, hi, how are you? You're like, where's a free plug? We gotta charge our devices. Yeah.
Not just one. I like plugged in everything. And then today we went over to a friend to take showers because we also don't have we have water, but we don't have hot water, right? And they
Right.
actually hadn't had hot water like for like a week, a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's like catching. So hopefully you won't catch it.
So I guess would you say, I mean, is there an Spain moment in this you want to share in this trial, either a
There is
happy
a
or
lot of
sad? Like,
Spains, and we're waiting for the Spain. We're waiting for that.
yeah.
We're waiting. We're waiting for that. I mean, a little bit of it is that we bought a place where the electricity and water had been completely cut off, which I didn't really understand was quite the paraphernalia situation that it actually turned out to be to get it
Hmm.
put back on again. So it was one of those things where we you have to kind of call and get a contract. I mean, it's the same in every country to get your electricity turned on, right? And when we did that, they connected us to the wrong place, which I didn't know was a possible thing. I didn't know that
Right.
was possible, honestly. Like I just took over someone else's account. Like how I don't understand how that can even happen without the other person giving some kind of approval, you know?
Right, right. So
So we ended
your
up
Spain is a Spain because also you don't even know how to make it work to maybe have made it a more of an Spain, right? Like this is just
no,
how you do it,
no.
right? This is
The
weird.
only thing that'll be Spain is when we get the electricity back. So I have like the person that's coming to do the Wi-Fi is on hold. Like, we have a bunch of stuff being like, so we've had really nice people coming in dealing with some plumbing stuff that they could do without electricity, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we need done in the kitchen that can't be done until there's electricity, right?
Right.
So everything's just delayed, and then of course it makes it difficult to do stuff like this and get work done because I have to go somewhere else because the charges on your computers and stuff, they run out really fast and you start to realize
A computer, I swear they last at no time, right? Computers are like
nothing.
3 hours of your typing, 1 hour if you've got like a Zoom meeting or something, right? Like
Well,
they
and I'm
go.
using like Photoshop, InDesign,
Oh yeah,
Illustrator with all my graphic design stuff. It's gone in like half an hour. Yeah,
right.
it doesn't do anything. So this is hopefully when we speak next week, we will be in a much better position, and I will be less stressed about talking about it because we will have light.
Right. And if you don't have like maybe we'll do like a repeat episode. Maybe we might have to re-air an episode. Who
Right.
knows?
You never know. But I will say your Thanksgiving, I mean, we talked about what would Thanksgiving be like and what we would food we would have on the table because a lot of people that were coming were not Americans. and they were going to be bringing things. So it was really interesting to see the array of food and all the just delicious things that we had. So maybe we can talk about that
Well, yeah,
instead,
it's
which
kind
won't give me
of
nearly so much stress.
well, I think it's a furthering, right, of the how we do Thanksgiving episode. Well, now this is how we did it. It was
Hmm.
done, and it was lovely because it was. Oh, I hear a cat in the background. Someone else wants to be a podcast star. Is that what's
Yes,
going
that
on?
is. Oh my gosh.
She's not in her normal studio setting, people.
No, and I was afraid if I closed the door, then I would just have a cat meowing on the other side of the door. But I don't
Right.
know. He decided to come in and meow in my face, which was super helpful. So I apologize for that.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, so like I was saying, this was I guess we'll do a brief how we did Thanksgiving. What I did love about it, and we had talked about, how we do things, where we find ingredients and all that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
what was really nice is I called it the United, Colors of Benetton, that we had all these people from all over. And if Jawad would have been able to come, we would have had all the continents represented except for Australia.
Oh
So
my gosh, that's amazing. And do you want to share how I almost ruined it for you?
no, you can.
So, as you've already found out, we have no electricity. So I was going to make the stuffing, which I'm super excited about because I just love stuffing. And obviously, if you have something like that, you'd love your own, like the
Right.
way you make it, right? And like, I think Thursday, it became very clear that we were not going to have electricity to have an
Yeah, yeah,
oven.
I got a doomed phone call on
Oh.
Thursday morning being like, so if you want to celebrate Thanksgiving, roll up your sleeves and make the stuffing, Gaetano, because I can't.
I mean, the only option was for me to like kind of half-ass put it together and cook it at your house, but it's like it's not going to be the same because stuffing needs to have all this. I mean, the way I make it, there's a bunch of stuff that's pre-cooked and then it's all put together and then
Right,
it's cooked and then it's reheated later. So it's like, or it's put in the turkey. One of the, I usually put some in the turkey and then some gets because there's you can't usually have enough in the turkey for everybody. So then another pot gets made, right? So
right.
it's like there was no way for me to do that without electricity and without a stovetop and an oven. So it was like absolutely the worst thing. But and I was like, oh my god, I suddenly realized like I can't make it. That there's no way this is going to happen. And if I have to make it at someone else's house, I'm going to have to spend the whole day there because it's not a
Right.
5-minute
Oh,
job.
no, no. Stuffing takes several hours.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm still living in the land of boxes, but I was like, I'm off for Thanksgiving and I want to take the best use of that time and unpack and organize as much stuff as I can. And to spend a whole day at someone else's house making stuffing was just not at all going to be feasible.
Right,
So I'm like, I'm
right.
so sorry. I'm like, I can't make the stuffing. And you were so nice because you actually came up with something that I could make. Because I was also like, I couldn't even think of anything that I could
You're like,
bring.
can I bring cups and plates?
Can I bring myself?
Yeah.
Because that's about all I've got to offer at this point.
And you brought wonderful salads, so that
I
was
did
good. We
bring
had
the
two
salads.
salads because Thanksgiving tends to be light on roughage and heavy on
It
starches, cheeses,
does.
and bulking foods. So
It
it
does, but it was a very interesting array of food. So obviously an interesting array of nationalities that were there. But you did have a couple of Americans and people, you and I and another couple that kind of really knew Thanksgiving. Would that be
right.
accurate?
Yeah, there was another full-blooded American couple with their children, and you who has co-opted it for what 30 years. You lived in the States, something like
Yeah, long
that.
time.
Long
Yeah.
time. So I mean, Thanksgiving. So we had
Well, as
those.
we've talked about on the other episodes that we had, the Thanksgiving meal is the English sort of
Yes,
Christmas.
yes, we
So
know
we're
England
very
created
familiar.
everything. Yes,
Very familiar.
but this is Spain. So actually, remember Spain brought the turkeys back to
I
America.
know, that's
So
crazy.
and
But
brought
I
it
will
to
say,
England. So really, it's a Spanish dinner that the English co-opted and added some things to.
exactly. But then what's interesting is the kind of dishes that you make are very like the your broccoli casserole. Like that's very American, I think. Those sorts of Thanksgiving dishes is what
Yeah, I
is
supplied
very
the
special
American,
American.
right? We had my
Yeah.
brandy sweet potatoes and the
Oh my god, the brandy sweet potatoes. I have that, I mean, so good. Never had it. Never had sweet potatoes like that because that's always been kind of the thing that the kids eat because it
Hmm.
usually has marshmallows all over it. So I've never had an adult version of that. It was so good. If anyone has not put brandy in their sweet potatoes, do it. Like
It's just
literally go shopping now, get the stuff, and do another Thanksgiving meal. It was so good.
we've got Christmas, and they go well with Christmas dinner as well, right?
Yes.
And it's really just
Yeah.
tons of brown sugar, tons of butter, and tons of brandy. And you taste it, and if you're like something's off, you add all three again
Mm-hmm.
until you're just until you're like,
Yeah.
nope, that's good.
Until you're like, yeah, that tastes like candy with alcohol. Perfect.
Exactly.
It just was so delicious, and it was, I will say, it was such a, like, it had an added flavor. Like sometimes I feel like Thanksgiving can be, I know this is going to sound crazy, it can be sometimes quite bland with, you got mashed potato, turkey, a general gravy, the stuffing can be really flavorful, but there's not a lot, it's all sort
But
of,
there's like mac and cheeses and mashed potatoes, and you got like that green
yeah.
bean casserole that
But
has no
unless you are,
flavor. Yeah, I
even
hear
unless
you.
you're I mean, green bean casserole doesn't have a huge amount of flavor unless you're adding a
Exactly.
lot of spices. It's not that exciting. So that was a real like sort of emphasis on something different, which I thought it was just so good. It was
Well,
really
as an
just
Italian,
delicious.
I have to make it flavorful. Otherwise, my
Yes,
ancestors will come from the grave and hunt me
roll in
down.
their
Yeah.
graves.
But what was nice is that, like, even like this, we had a Spanish family come, and they brought this apple cake thing. So we had the flavor that we needed from
Hmm.
Thanksgiving, but a traditional Spanish cake. So I thought that was such a great blend. I mean, that cake looked like that had to have taken 2 days to make. That was
That
insane.
cake looked absolutely amazing. I have to say, I didn't try it because I was
Oh,
all over the pumpkin pie. Because
yes.
that was the most beautiful pumpkin pie. We'll get to that. So that's why I didn't try the apple. But it was like layered, right? Like it was layered and it
It
had
was
something
like
around
a
the outside and it had a sauce on top. And
yeah, it was like a lot. It was one of those like rectangular log type cakes, right? It
hmm,
was a square, right? But the cake, it was a sponge cake. But what was amazing is the best way to describe it was a layer cake, right? So the whole thing was surrounded in sponge cake, and then it was a layer cake in the middle of it, right?
right.
So,
It looked
but
really pretty when it was cut.
yes, and but the layers were of apple, but it tasted like fresh, it was homemade apple pie filling is what the layers were. So you had
Oh.
the apple pie taste, but in a
Mm.
cake. And it wasn't
Is that
not a
something they made
jelly.
up? Is it something they made up, do you think? Or was it like is
No,
that a
it's a
Spanish
Spanish. It's
thing?
a traditional old school Spanish thing. She was
Nice.
like, I mean, my friend, it's her mother who made it, and but my friend, both of them, Paloma mom, Paloma daughter, and then I have a Paloma. A lot of
There was a
Palomas
lot of
here.
palomas in that house
Yeah.
yesterday.
But we had she tried to sell it as like, well, I'm gonna make this apple thing. It's very Spanish, it's very old school, but like it's very ugly. It's very ugly. It's not attractive. And then they bring in this thing, and I was like, how is that not attractive? Do you not know what attractive? I mean, it was a presentation. It
It
was
was, and it had a sauce over it, it looked like.
you did,
What was
yes.
the sauce?
I don't delicious. It's
Just
just
good.
delicioso. Yeah.
Well, I will say it looked really pretty when it was sliced, but it wasn't, it did look beautiful. I'm not putting it down or anything, but it looked more beautiful when it was sliced than it did as a thing. It was just a one colored kind of log
It was
with
this
this sauce
orange
on top.
long,
So I will
yeah.
say
Hmm.
I kind of see where she's coming from when she said that, but it that's not, it didn't, you didn't look at it and go, oh my god, what is that? It definitely
Right.
looked impressive, and then when you cut it,
Right.
it was really really pretty.
It was on this platter the size of a football
Yeah.
field. I mean, it
Right.
was
Oh my
how they
gosh.
got it here. I didn't see them walk in the door, so I'm like, how did that thing
Right.
get here?
So I just want to go back to the main courses before we carry on with the desserts, because it was a potluck, and also I don't think we mentioned this. It was a potluck Thanksgiving. If you haven't listened to our other episodes, that's what Gaetano was doing. So we had just this huge variety of things, and one of them was a, which I didn't try because I, by the time I had done a whole plate, I mean, everyone
Right.
knows what Thanksgiving's, right? There's so much food. You put a little bit of everything on, and and then you have so much food on your plate, and there's still more things to try. And I'm like, I'm
Right.
not going to get to it, but let me go eat this. And then I knew that I was going to get full, and I wanted dessert because I wanted the pumpkin pie. So I never tried this. It looked like it looked like sort of not tacos, but like burritos. They look like burritos.
Crepes, basically. They were like a
Oh,
crepe burrito,
delicious.
as you were.
Yeah.
And so those were brought by our Russian friends, and they were amazing. And we had like, I think 4 left over, and Paloma did not share those with us today. So
She ate them
she ate
all.
all 4,
Oh my
all of them, yes.
god.
So I will be asking them for that recipe, I think. And
Oh my
then
gosh, that sounds amazing. I do love a stuffed crepe, so I really missed out on that one.
and we had these, I think, were gone because you arrived late. I don't want to say, not that you arrived late, but a lot of people showed up a little earlier and they were getting hungry. And I
Mm.
have to say, I'm going to pat myself in the back. I was only, 30 minutes late with having everything served for my original scheduled
I
time.
don't.
So
Oh, I was going to say I don't think you were late at all. I think you said around 6. Isn't that when we ended up eating?
no, I said between 6 and 6:30, and the food was ready to eat at 7.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was like only a little off. So I was not, but people had started coming like around 4:30. And
Yeah, but
anyway,
we had some cheese. I mean, by the time I got there, there was some cheese and hamon that someone had bought like a platter, so there was
mhm.
plenty of food to eat. So while people waited, I nobody was sort of like hanging around the kitchen dying of starvation. Like there was
Paloma
stuff to
was.
eat.
My
Well,
daughter Paloma was, because she
yeah,
knows she needs to eat
but that's her
nonstop.
status quo. So I mean, I
Yes,
don't think that really
exactly.
counts.
But what I was gonna say is we have our Serbian friends. They brought this cheese pie that was gone by the time you arrived.
Hmm.
That I'm gonna have to bug them for that recipe, because it was a savory thing, and it wasn't really. They called it a pie, but it was like, I don't know what was in it, but to me, it tasted like mac and cheese, but layered like a lasagna. It had the flavor of mac and cheese,
And it
but it was
wasn't
like
a main
layered.
dish; it was an appetizer. Like it
Well, I
felt
think
like
they
an
brought
appetizer,
it.
or
Well, they brought it as to be served with everything, but
oh,
kids were hungry, and so they're like, we can serve it now. And I think they said traditionally this is more of an appetizer. It's you
oh,
would
so
eat
that
it
worked
before.
out well.
Yeah, it worked out well, and it was amazing.
So it tasted a
Yeah.
bit like a mac and cheese in the style of a lasagna.
Yeah, that's the best
Interesting.
way.
So I
And I don't even know
definitely
if it
missed
was
that.
noodles in between. I have to look, but that's kind of what I was getting from it. So I'm
Somebody
gonna have
had
to ask
bought
her.
some really delicious bread and some Roquefort cheese, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
that was so
so
good.
good. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that bread's from the bakery around the corner. So
That's
maybe
really good
one.
bread. It was, and it was one of those loaves that's so big that I was like, I have to chop this in half because I really can't fill up on bread and cheese, which I can theoretically have any time. And
Right.
so I was sort of pacing myself. And then there was another dish, and I didn't try it either. It was some kind, it had cheese on top, and it was maybe, I don't know what it was. It was kind of at the very, very end of the line. And it was a
Oh, the
big,
tuna pie thing.
yes.
That
Is that what it
that
was?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was mashed potatoes with like cheese and butter on top, and then underneath was like the spicy tuna thing. And when she told me that was a Venezuelan, so that was our South American
Hmm.
traditional dish that was brought. And she said, "Oh, I'm bringing this tuna pie thing," and I was like, "Okay." Like I was a little
You're like
scared.
that's not gonna fit, but hey, whatever.
Whatever. And then then I tasted it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because when you think tuna baked, you think tuna casserole. To me, that's disgusting, right? To me, that
Yeah,
is just like the
yeah.
worst of the worst. And
I'm not
this
sure that
thing
I've
was so
ever
amazing.
had anything with tuna in it that I would that with a like canned tuna or whatever that I would say was a spectacular dish. Do you know what I mean? It's
Right,
kind of one of those
right.
things you have in the pantry for like to eat something
Emergencies.
quickly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But that was amazing. I don't know how she made it, and all the spices. And I mean, the tuna almost tasted like chorizo. It was like chorizo
Mm.
spices that she put in it. It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Yeah, and I love what you did because you set up a WhatsApp group and then everyone sort of could go in and say what they were going to bring. So you got to get up in there first if you have something specific. But then
right.
usually that's how it works if there's a group chat for a Thanksgiving or like a Friendsgiving or whatever. But because it was people from all over the place, that didn't really happen, right? Because everyone's bringing all these just unique things that aren't really Thanksgiving-y per se anyway. So no, I'm not
hmm
gonna make a tuna bake. That would have never crossed my mind, or the things
Right.
that the Russians bought. Like that just wouldn't have been.
And yet
anything.
they all fit. Like they were
Totally.
all still the flavors of our American Thanksgiving, right? They all fit the profile,
It
which was.
really did, which was amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
And for most of them, it was either I think the Russians said they had had one Thanksgiving before, but not like this. They had been in the States on a
Hmm.
Thanksgiving and
Yeah.
had it like at a restaurant, but it wasn't necessarily
Yeah,
like
it
the
was a bit more
feast,
low
right?
key, I think they said.
Yeah.
And I will say, regardless of the actual food that was provided there, you had the experience of a Thanksgiving. You had everybody together. Everybody ate too much food. Everyone was hanging out, chatting. I mean, it was a very Thanksgiving-y thing, even though the food wasn't necessarily traditional. All of the food wasn't traditionally Thanksgiving, but the turkey was amazing.
Thank
And
you.
your gravy, please share what your gravy was because I couldn't place it, but it was delish.
Oh, so I mean, I'll give you we'll have to do like some cooking episodes much later, much later.
Yeah.
Don't expect those anytime soon. But I'm not camera ready for to making cooking videos. Oh, but my gravy it's simple. It's just the drippings from the turkey and a flour slurry, and then if you have to add chickens, more chicken stock or something, I
Mm.
have that on the side just in case. And then I add extra thyme and sage, and then it's the giblets. So I take the meat from the neck and the liver and the heart, and I chop that into tiny little pieces, and I throw
Oh,
that in
that's what it
it.
was. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, I do that, and then you whisk it all together, and then I put in white wine. So there's probably about a cup of white wine in
So
that.
it's all about the cooking with alcohol, I think.
Yeah,
That's what
pretty
does
much.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah.
That's the key right there. Are we missing any other bits? Oh, I mean that you did have all the
And I did make
potatoes.
the stuffing. So okay,
Oh,
let's
the
find out.
stuffing. Let's
What
talk
did
about
you
the
think about
stuffing.
my stuffing since it wasn't your stuffing?
It was very good. Yeah, it was delicious. I think I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Remember in our Thanksgiving episode, I said I don't want to make the stuffing because I
Hmm.
can't get the stuff. So it was a risk one for me because I didn't have my proper breads. So
But anything you cannot not have stuffing.
right,
So
no, yeah. I
any
was very happy with it, but now
yeah.
I know what I have to tweak next year.
So what bread did you find that end up what end
So
what?
I ended up going and just getting like a sourdough, a couple sourdough baguettes, and
Hmm.
then the brown bread was just at the bakery they had kind of a flatter dark rye bread, but it doesn't have that caraway flavor, but it had at least the dark, you know, contrast
Right. I
to the white
see.
bread. So and the denseness,
The
more dense,
density.
the density, more density than the white bread. So I like that
Yeah.
juxtaposition. And I use sausage in mine versus like you use bacon and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy how it worked out. The kids did say that it tasted better today because
It
it had more
always
time to
does. And
soak.
that was the
Yeah.
thing. Like I would have made it on like Friday, you know.
Right. So it has all day to soak more of that
Absolutely. Yeah.
stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bulk of
Was that
everything. But
everything? I'm trying to think if we're missing anything.
I'm thinking in my head the buffet line how
Hmm.
it went down. But we had the mashed potatoes, which were amazing, and
I think that's it, except for the most amazing pumpkin pie I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
that was insane. And I have a picture of it
Oh,
that
you
someone put in
do?
the group. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, good.
I'll post it, but I mean, I'll try to post. I got to see if it's postable.
So
You know what I mean?
this is very our Spain, this pumpkin pie, because apparently what I heard was the reason that they made it with the way that they did was because they couldn't find or couldn't make or something the regular pastry that they use.
Well, they said it's hard to find pie crusts
Yeah. Well,
here,
it's very
and
difficult. They had tried different ones, but
and
then
then they
when
said they tried to make one, and then the thing stuck to the pan and had holes in it.
yeah.
They gave up on
Mhm.
trying, and then they used puff pastry and like layered it in the pan like a
Well,
few degrees from each
Well,
corner,
like a phyllo
right?
pastry because
Right.
they said they literally were making it like and brushing with butter, like not just getting puff pastry and chopping it up and using it as a pie crust, but actually doing phyllo and buttering and layering and buttering and layering,
Right.
which I've
And but
never
when
done.
they layered it like each sheet
Mhm.
a few degrees after.
Yeah.
So when they baked it, it looked like a giant sunflower, and
It
that
did.
was a mistake. Not a mistake. They didn't know what was going to happen, and so it was a pleasant surprise. And
I mean,
they showed up with that thing, and I was like, "That's art! Like
it
you could
was
sell those for like
art.
$100
Yeah,
back
so
in
all
LA."
these phyllo corners were coming out from the edges, and I'm surprised that they didn't all just burn off with the amount of time that you would need to bake a pie. So
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was kind of cool because they were then individual sheets, really, with these, beautiful, sort of crispy, like points all the way around, and layers of points, right? It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It looked like I said, sunflower
A
petals, right? It
sunflower,
was just,
and the pumpkin pie part also tasted really like an American
and they did
pumpkin
it from
pie.
scratch, not from
Yeah.
a can. So they showed us, and we're like, "Oh, it's hard to do it from scratch," and they're like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, but I have to go back and find, like, get the recipe because, like I said, I did try it once from scratch, and it really was very hard. It didn't come out. I feel like I was missing. I might have been not being able to find a ingredient that maybe is available now as well.
Right.
So who knows? But it was
And then
delicious.
and then there was the big fail, which was at the end of the dinner realizing that I had left the cranberry sauce in the
Oh
refrigerator.
yeah. Can I just say I love how many people came out and put more food on their plate just to have a bit of cranberry sauce, and
Yes,
you
people were
brought
like,
it
"I'll take
out
one more piece of chicken,
a
one more
turkey.
piece of
Yeah, and
turkey."
then you brought out it's like a whole bunch of spoons, and it's like people were literally just taking a spoon of it because it's
Yes,
like
because it's something they've never had, right? So
right.
I mean, that's such the American thing,
And we had talked
and
about how hard it is to find cranberries. Was that made from
yes.
scratch, or did you find
Oh no, that was the canned. I found it at the American store, so I
the
got the
with the cranberry
canned.
bits, like the
Yeah, it was
cranberry?
the
Yeah.
whole cranberry. They didn't have the pure the pureed jelly one that we all wanted, but
Mm-hmm.
you get what you get, and you don't get upset, as they
No,
say.
for sure. Definitely not.
I was happy to have it,
Oh,
and I think you and I and the Americans have all agreed that oh, we've all made it in the past, and when we used to make our cranberry, we said it was the best. And then one year you go back to the can and you're like, why all those years was I making it? Because the can truly is more nostalgic and just tastes better. I'm sorry.
and
It's true.
also sometimes if I mean, the jelly is the jelly that you don't do anything to, but the one with the whole berries or the berry bits in it, you
Hmm.
could kind of take it and doctor it a little bit and not have to
Right.
do it all from scratch, right?
Right. You could throw in your little sliced mandarins or whatever
Yeah,
if you're one
yeah,
of those people,
exactly.
or walnuts. But I like my cranberry with nothing in it but cranberry. I don't like the walnuts and the oranges and stuff. But
I like the orange
um
flavor. I wouldn't put bits of orange in, but I always would
like a little
squeeze
triple
some
sec,
orange.
little orange liqueur in it is
Well, you
good
just put
too.
alcohol in all your bits, don't you? I mean, come on.
Did you notice how calm those kids were at the party? We had 10 kids in this apartment and you didn't even know they were here, did you?
Now we know the
No, I
secret.
now, what I'd like to end this episode on, since this is a
Hmm.
brief little catch up for us, is that we had talked about this in the pre Thanksgiving episode, and I brought the conversation up at the table, which was they don't do potlucks here.
Right.
And remember, I asked the Spanish family, and they were explaining what that this doesn't happen here, that the people do not open their homes and people bring tons of dishes, maybe on a Christmas or a pie, maybe someone will bring something over, but a potluck thing is not normal. And then one of them was Paloma, my friend Paloma was explaining that what did she had do you remember the
Oh, it
phrase?
was
It was
so
under your arm or
no,
something. What was the
yeah, I
phrase?
can't remember the Spanish phrase, but it was so funny because it's like, yeah, we have things where people just bring their own sandwiches and they eat
Right,
their
like you bring your food you're gonna eat, but not to share,
no, but
right?
it's like it's a baguette sandwich and you stick it under your arm and you bring it that so it's called that. That's where it comes from. And
Right.
I'm like, well, I guess that is literally the epitome of you're not sharing it if you're keeping it under your arm,
Yeah,
right?
keeping it I've kept it nice and warm in my armpit for you.
You're
No thanks.
right.
You keep that on your own. So it was, I mean, I think I know everyone was appreciative of it, and my friend and her mother, I think they took it the most of being like, wow, this was just a different way to eat, right?
Hmm.
They're used to being at people's houses all day, but to share all these cultures of food and stuff,
Yes, absolutely. And Paloma, the mom,
Floma
the
Senior.
grandma
Yeah.
senior,
Yeah.
and she we got to the dessert, and I was like, would you like, you have to try some pumpkin pie, and she's like, okay, well, I'll have a little bit, and I'm like, there's no little in Thanksgiving.
Right.
But I thought it was nice, you're right, that they don't necessarily have a culture of potluck, but they do. There is a place where where people bring their own food and eat their own food, kind of maybe more like a, I don't know, camping kind of scenario or something. But
Or
it
a
is
Netflix and chill. Do you want to come over and watch a movie? Bring your own
bring your
food. I
own
ain't cooking.
food.
Yeah.
But they have such a culture of cooking and eating within the families, and grandma and everybody doing that I can see that that's just not how it works here.
Right. But what they did really appreciate about it, which was surprising to me, because the Paloma Senior texted me today to say thank you, but it was that it was so exotic to them. Our normal foods that we're used to, right? When
Right.
we brought the world to the table, right? And so they were like,
Yeah.
they they don't know stuffing. They don't know when she saw when she walked in and saw when the bird came out of the oven, she was like, "Oh, that's what you do with that thing?" Right? Like it was like
It was a very spectacularly cooked bird, and you did get quite the audience when it came out of the oven, so that was
right.
nice.
But I loved how everyone the people from different cultures one were so excited to have it,
Hmm.
and then they thought it was also exotic, right? So that
Yes.
what we've grown up and have is
Yeah,
new
and
to
I
them
and what I
still,
loved about
right?
it is again, like we did have the experience, even though it was a lot of people from a lot of different countries. It was a very, very Thanksgiving day.
It was exactly what
Yeah,
it was supposed to be, because
and
right,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Thanksgiving was two cultures colliding, um, and we had like seven cultures colliding.
Absolutely.
So.
And we got a parking spot like really close to your house, which I never thought was going to happen. So, that was a bonus for the day as well.
Right.
You gotta take the wins where you can.
Take the wins.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, do you want to take some leftovers? And you're like, where am I going to put them?
I
Where am I
literally
going to put
left
them?
I left my bowls at your house on purpose because I didn't want to bring them back into mine. I'm like, you keep it. I did.
I figured as
Yeah,
much, because then I was like, there's olive oil. All this stuff was left. I'm like, I bet she left it here, because she's like, I ain't putting it away. I have no place
I
for it
have
yet.
no place to put it
We have no
away.
electricity. I don't have kitchen cabinets yet.
I have everything in boxes that I'm trying to unpack into nothing. Like, I'm just hoping it all disappears. But no, I didn't leave the bag of dressing, bits to get on purpose. But the bowls, I was like, I'll get those later. It's big bowls that you need when you're feeding 25 people. So,
Yes.
I was like, this doesn't need to go back into my
I mean,
apartment.
I'll end the episode with we've talked about this before. The things I regret leaving behind. If I had it to do it
Oh,
over again,
uh-huh.
I wouldn't have let my friends be so ruthless with my kitchen, because I should have brought some more of my. Because someone who does love to cook, I
Mm-hmm.
left so much Pyrex and casserole, like big,
Uh,
deep casserole dishes, which are harder to find here
Much
for
harder, yeah.
what for the size and what you're used to making your things in.
Yeah, I will
And
say that
so
is a thing for Thanksgiving, is finding the dishes big enough for certain things is a bit more difficult if you're feeding a lot of people.
right, and forget using like the tinfoil disposable. Like you have to get the regular stuff, because we discussed this last night, was that here in Spain the tinfoil like potluck
Hmm.
things that you would cook a mac and cheese in, it's an inch tall. You're not putting anything in there,
No.
and it's the flimsiest of flimsy tinfoil that is it's got the consistency of like Reynolds wrap, right? Like it doesn't hold its
And
shape.
there
You need to.
isn't a massive variety in the supermarket
No,
of tin foil shapes and sizes. There just isn't. So
no,
if you go in, there might be one thing. I mean, it just isn't there. So
right,
that is a useful thing for cooking, is to have the disposable pieces for sure.
right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we muddle
I
through,
will say
and
thank you so much for hosting and having the Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving. It was amazing. And I think everyone enjoyed themselves immensely. And we ate far too much and was
far too
really
much. And
good
I will be at the gym every day this week for 17 hours a day.
for 17 hours a day.
17 hours, yes. Well, on that note, Tanya, I will have my fingers crossed that you get your
Oh,
electricity on this week.
gosh, I hope
So,
so. Yes. One can only dream. Thank you.
Well, you know what? Light a candle and and speak to the spirits.
We have the camping lanterns. Everyone got their own one, and you just walk around the house with it, looking like we're from 1890.
Like Ichabod Crane walking through the forest.
You gotta laugh, or else you'll cry.
All right. On that note, Tanya, adios. Hey, can't get enough of us? Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Spain Podcast.
And on our website, ourspain.com, which we will be updating with exciting new things as we grow.
We would love for you to message us with any topics you would like to hear about.
See you next time.
Bye.